Well, good evening. Welcome everyone to the first round of the Barfoot and Thompson Badminton League 2021. We are back with another edition of this wonderful competition, and we start tonight at the Waitakere Badminton Hall. A delayed start after lockdown last week, but we're ready to go with a number of weeks of wonderful badminton competition with some twists as well. Raina Phillips is alongside tonight. Tell me about the twist. 3v3. What's this all about?
I know it's a bit different. It's actually a first, I think, internationally. It's no formal thing in BWS standards, but basically players are used to it. It's usually what we do for training and for fun, but I think it's really going to bring a dynamic to this whole thing that's just going to, it'll be really exciting.
I'm just wondering with the quality of these players, how they're going to get the shuttle down on the court, but I guess it's going to happen. But three of them covering the court, and it's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be our first match every night. Of course, 6 games played in every match, and then we could have a 3-3 go to the tiebreaker. That was cool last year. That's a lot of fun. I mean, the neutrals will be hoping we get there, but the 3v3 is not part of that, is it?
No. So it's just between the 5 normal ones, and so the 3v3 doesn't feature in that Golden Game selection.
Cool. So, let's have a look at the teams. It's a new competition with a new sponsorship as well, with Barfoot and Thompson on board. $20,000 available to the teams, and obviously no points on the table yet, but the Mighty Jazz Apples, the Starship Rockets, and of course that's a wonderful partnership with a wonderful charity. Tiger Brokers Tigers are back, and then Plenty Bay Whales. So they are the lineups in terms of the teams. But let's have a look at the matchup tonight, because Tiger Brokers Tigers up against the Starship Rockets. What do you make of the Tigers? Where are their strengths, do you think?
Yeah, obviously they've got Edward Lau there, who, I mean, by all means, is one of the strongest players coming through for the past few years. They've also got a Nona there, and she's actually featuring in the triples or 3v3s, which is really exciting, I think, she's double specialist, and it'll be cool to see how she goes in the 3v3 court.
And looking forward to seeing Rowan Palasuk as well play. She played so superbly in the league last year. Let's have a look at their opponents tonight, the Starship Rockets. This is a new innovation with Starship, of course, a wonderful charity partner, and they will be on the backs of these players through the competition. The obvious highlight here is Abhinav Manota, likely to be their leader, yeah?
Absolutely, aka God Hand. Mani, he'll probably be the perfect captain for this team, and especially, obviously, he specialises in his men's singles, but we've also got Ricky Cheng, who is featuring as a newcomer, and he's actually the top junior at the moment, and so I think that's a really cool opportunity for Ricky, and definitely someone to watch out for. And
Fanny Megawati coaching there. Bjorn Sigmund has the Tiger Brokers team tonight. Let's have a look at the actual matches then and the order of play, and we will get things underway with the 3v3. And we'll talk about that in more detail, but the rules there, the players have to start in a certain position on the court, am I right? And then they can just move anywhere, chase the shuttle.
Yep, absolutely correct. So you have your one player at the front and then 2 players at the back, one on the left, one on the right. And you basically rotate every single time you get a serve, similar to volleyball. But once it's served, players are free for all and you just hustle.
I love that. You wish you were out there saying this free for all. Just get out there, cover all the court and whatever. It's going to be great. Men's singles, that's going to be Edward Lau, the MVP from last year's league, up against Ricky Cheng. Women's singles, Courtney Trillo, who improved out of sight through the competition, up against Caitlin Rosario. Then men's doubles, women's doubles, where arguably Pak and Palasuk are one of the strengths for the Tigers, and we'll wrap it up with the mixed doubles. But of course, we could go to that decider if it's needed at 3 apiece. But that's enough of the preview, folks. Let's get into some badminton. The Barfoot and Thompson New Zealand Badminton League is in a moment or two going to get underway as we welcome our teams out for the first, and it is teams, it's 3v3 in our first match tonight. And indeed it will be our first opportunity to have a look at a 3v3 as our players make their way out onto our show court here at the Waitakere Badminton Centre. Wonderful to welcome in 2021 in a badminton sense, with a repeat of this wonderful Badminton National League concept, which of course was born out of COVID in 2020. But back with Barfoot and Thompson, and $20,000 up for grabs with these teams. And welcome again to Raina Phillips alongside for these matches tonight as we look at the Tiger Brokers Tigers, Edward Lau, Anona Pak and Jack Wang. And the Starship team on the left of our picture there, Abhinav Minota, Alyssa Tagli and Dylan Sojasa. Trish Gubb has...
Okay. Who's serving first?
That's the coin. Let's have a listen.
Alyssa is serving. Who's serving second?
Big job for an umpire
Dylan
here.
is serving second. Who's receiving? Edward's receiving. Who is serving first? Anona is serving first. Which end do you want? Thank you.
Tell you what, you need a big piece of paper and a good pen. Raina, this is going to be fun though, isn't it? For anyone that hasn't seen it. Do players typically practice in this, or not so much practice, but just have a bit of fun training in this sort of a competition?
Yeah. It's usually a good way to warm up, we find, or it's a good way to just finish the session. It's really good as well for keeping your reaction and your racket speed up, as well as just, alphaing everyone else. But yeah, great game.
Have a look at a few of the players. Many will be familiar to you folks. Alyssa Tagli, and we are going to get it right. It was very late in the competition last year where I said to Alyssa, am I saying your name right? And so we're going to get it right. Dylan Sojasa there alongside at 26 years of age. No rankings, of course, in this. This is not an official competition, the 3v3. Very much informal, so we won't see rankings. Jack Wang on the far side at 17 years of age. And that again will be a great part of this Barfoot and Thompson National League, is the opportunity for young players to get out there on court against some of their heroes and take them on. Let's have a look at the other side of the courts. Edward Lau on the far side there, MVP of the league last year. He's just recently turned 20, I think. What a star he is. And he will be a real threat, a leader, just like Abhinav Minota will be. Although it's interesting, Marnie's only playing twice tonight.
Yeah.
So not playing singles.
Yeah.
So that's the opportunity. We'll see that next match with Ricky Cheng, the 18-year-old, getting his chance. And Anona Pak, 27 years of age, #1 ranked women's doubles and mixed doubles player in New Zealand, and of course has an international ranking as well. So this will be fascinating. Now, when we spoke off air, I said, is this going to take ages? Because, how do you get the shuttle to the floor? But then we spoke about it, and you highlighted that, well, actually, no, there's always someone at the net waiting to pounce. Yeah. You can't make a mistake, can you?
No, you can't afford to have any subpar shot.
Finally got a picture, but
so much less of
nothing.
I guess, room for those kind of mistakes.
And they will start. It's a little bit like volleyball, if you picked up on Raina's reference earlier. A little bit like volleyball. They'll start in a certain position and, then rotate, won't they? But once the rally is underway, it's all on.
Yep.
It's all on. What will we see, though? One player at net and two in the back court. Are we likely to see the two men head to the back court? How does it normally play out?
It really depends. I think it'll be most interesting in terms of rotation when the team has to go in defence, because obviously usually in double defence it's one each side, and then the front person might just duck and get out of the way. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the teams organise themselves.
This will be fun. A new twist in the 2021 Barfoot and Thompson New Zealand Badminton League. Our first match, we should have been underway last week, of course, but the 3-day lockdown put an end to that. But great to be bringing you live badminton, the first of many weeks. Tuesday, Wednesday nights, different venues will be around the wider Auckland region.
Ladies and gentlemen,
here we go.
On my right, Starship Rockets, represented by Abhinav Minota, Dylan Sojasa and Alyssa Tagli. On my left, Tiger Brokers Tigers, represented by Edward Lau, Anona Pak and Jack Wang. Starship Rockets to serve, Alyssa Tagli to Edward Lau. Love all. Play.
Oh, well, there's an issue already, but I reckon that's going to happen a few times. But good rallies for both teams to get into the groove here. And off the frame from Anona Pack, so
2, love.
early advantage for the Starship Rockets.
Three, love.
Of course, a timely reminder as well that the format through the Barfoot and Thompson New Zealand League, we play to 11, so it is rapid fire. That time it's Tagley who catches the frame.
Service
So
over.
Lau,
1,
Wang and
3.
Pack are on the board.
Tigers finally getting their first rotation of the game. Let's see how Anona does at the front.
Service over. 4, 1.
Unfortunate opportunity that Anona had just then.
5, 1.
And again, the eyes light up and the opportunity to smash one away at the net, but just a little too eager.
You can really see the
6,
players are trying to actually
1.
take the pace off, because I think it just gets so fast that you need that variation.
And good communication. This is a very
7,
handy lead now.
1.
Yeah, and they are dominating the Starship trio.
8, 1.
Little sign there of
Service
the
over.
power that I'm sure we're going to see
2,
more of in
8.
the men's singles from Edward Lau.
Nice finish from Dylan there.
Service over. 9, 2.
Yeah,
Service over.
Brilliant receive there from Jack.
3,
Perfect spot.
9.
of course, one of the other key differences, and
Service
viewers will have
over.
picked up on it already,
10.
but
Game point.
there are
3.
times when you're serving to two players.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, good anticipation from Tagley, and
Game.
it is the Starship Rockets who, well, they've got away to a flyer, haven't they?
First game won by
11-3.
Starship Rockets. 11, 3.
Yeah, I think they definitely were just taking the initiative, and you could really see from like Dylan when he was at that front and just his anticipation, I think, represented the Starship whole compared to the Tigers, who just seemed to be a bit more laid back and taking the defence on most of that game.
Bjorn Siegemund just having a chat. Bjorn new to the coaching ranks in the league this year. Wasn't involved last year, so nice to see Bjorn here, and what a record he had as a player as well, representing Germany, men's doubles and mixed doubles. Played at the 2004 Summer Olympics, so he'll have lots of expertise.
Definitely.
You know a little bit about him? Have you ever worked with him at all?
Unfortunately not. He actually only came on board on the training scene after I had somewhat retired, but I've heard great things about him.
And of course, Fanny Megawati in the background there, known to our viewers from last year's competition. Fanny also an international player representing Indonesia in women's singles, so quality in the coaching ranks right through this competition. Can the Tiger Brokers Tigers, though, turn this around? They were pretty handily dealt to in the first game. Let's see what they can do here to get back into this match.
If you're changing, you come and talk to me, please. Okay. Hold.
I think it's a whole new format for players as well to get used to, as well as the umpires, of course.
Oh, Trish has got to have eyes everywhere. She's going to run out of ink in the pen. The
Second
players
game.
just waiting. Here we go.
Love all. Play.
That's a positive start, isn't it?
Absolutely, far stronger. I think the Tigers are really going to try
Service
and
over.
create those opportunities of
1.
attack
Love.
that were a bit lacking in the first game.
You were between me and the shuttle. Bolt. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think
2.
Abhinav Manota
Love.
called that, as well as Dylan Sojasa, so he did not get to the shuttle in time.
The Tigers are looking like an absolutely different team, don't you reckon?
3.
Oh,
Love.
just the communication, the chat they had with their coach, they've suddenly got a game plan.
Service over. 1. 3. Service over. 4. 1.
Easy pickings there for the Starship Rockets.
Service over. 2. 4.
Manota with the signal behind the back as to what he's going to serve up.
Wow.
It was all Alyssa could do just to get out of the
Yeah.
road. She had to duck, she had to get
It's over.
forward, and eventually
5,
that pressure
2.
told for the Tiger Brokers Tigers. Already what I'm seeing is that
Service
often
over.
it's how quickly you can get out of the
3.
way.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
5.
the shuttle's not yours to hit. There's
Yeah.
a teammate in a better position, but you've got to clear out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's getting on to
Service
that
over.
point. It's almost harder having more players on
6,
board because it's almost like
3.
a diffusion of responsibility. Like you're like, oh no, I've got 2 other players that might have that shot. So I think that's where communication between the 3 players is so crucial. Wow.
Turning defense into attack. That was really well played.
Absolutely. I think it was definitely
7.
that flat drive return off that
3.
smash that just flipped that whole rally for the Tigers.
Tiger Brokers, a couple of times in that rally, they got a little caught out with what you were saying, Raina, just all looking and expecting
4,
the other player
7.
or players to play the shuttle.
Yeah. It definitely takes some kind of guts to flip
Service
in
over.
the 3v3 format.
8. 4.
That did look like it was falling short.
Yeah.
9.
It's hard
4.
to pull out of that, though, once you're committed to playing.
And especially when it is just to 11.
That won't happen that often.
10.
A softly
Game
played
point,
shuttle
4.
finding the middle of the court. Well, we're going to a
Game.
third in our opening match in the Barfoot and Thompson New Zealand
Second
Badminton
game
League.
won by Tiger Brokers. Tigers 11 for 1 game all.
Shouldn't be surprised. The hallmark of this competition last year was the closeness of the matches, the games, and we had so many golden games, and they proved a real thriller. This time we look at Fanny Megawati just having to maybe change tactics, or what she's saying, because it's not as though they changed anything dramatically. The Tiger Brokers Tigers, they just suddenly lifted their game, didn't they?
Yeah, I think maybe it's rather than, you know, doing what they've just been doing, which got them through the first game, they might actually have to change tactic. Because as you said, all of a sudden, when those Tigers walked on in the second game, there was something that just flicked on for them. And they were definitely trying to make those opportunities for attack.
See the card that Fanny's holding in her left hand. Coaches can play a timeout. Neither has at the moment, and understandably wanting to keep their powder dry for the final game.
No.
So, you may have just heard Trish Gubb there asking the Tigers as to their order, and they've changed it. So they're thinking deeply about the tactics.
It really is actually quite a tactical process in picking your order, especially when you can only rotate each time you get that serve, you know.
Yeah, if you get it wrong, you're stuck, aren't you, for some time? You don't want the opposition to go on a little roll if you've got your positioning wrong.
You're first.
I'm glad you're doing another
Final game.
degree, Raina, because I reckon we need at least 1.5 degrees to follow this. So I'm glad you're alongside. Oh, that's a beautiful shot, finding the open court. And this really has turned around.
It really has.
1 love.
The Tigers are just consistently finding those middle spots that are just going amiss for the Starship.
Service over. 1 all.
Again, it's almost the same piece of real estate.
Service over. 2 1.
It's a good attack. It's set up there, but Minota was quick to the
Service
opportunity.
over. 2
I think that was
all.
definitely needed as well, just to stop that momentum before Tigers got a bit too far ahead for the Starships.
Probably the easiest shot that she had in that rally, Anona. And
3
she puts it into the
2.
net.
If she pulled it off, though, that would have been perfect placement.
Interesting there, again, formation-wise, the Rockets were all
Service
back in a
over.
line, weren't they?
Yeah, and I think that for all teams, when they come to the 3-3-3s, is actually
3
figuring out how
all.
and what exactly is the best way to set up as a team when it comes to the fence.
This is now settling into a fascinating battle after
It's
the
over.
opening 2 games
4
were split with
3.
dominant performances.
Service over. 4 all.
Oh, brilliant. Wonderful touch.
Service over.
Absolute rally that was. Absolute banger.
5-4. Oh,
It's a real ebb and flow to this.
service over. 5-all.
It's almost like 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Neither trio able to kick clear.
You can actually see the players are
Six,
they're aware that the
5.
margin is so much smaller. They're almost putting more pressure on, which actually welcomes in a few more mistakes than they usually would play with fewer players on court.
And again, the winning
Service over.
shot is the one that's played with a little pace taken
Yeah.
off.
6-all.
Force them back and then play it into the open front court. Yeah, this is good from both teams now. They're really finding a groove. Looks like it's fun too.
7-6.
Maybe we'll be up next day, Andrew.
I'm wondering, some of these rallies, they go by so quickly, but sometimes the players are just spectators, aren't they? They're watching their teammates and it all flashes by.
Eight, 6.
First
Timeout
sign of a
called.
little
Tiger Brokers, Tigers.
break here, and Bjorn Zegerman has called time, so this has been point for point virtually the whole way through. Suddenly 8-6 in the race to 11, and Bjorn wants to try and halt that momentum.
For those timeout cards, Andrew, can you just clarify for me and maybe the viewers watching at home? So each coach, they get a new timeout card refresh for each new game or each new match?
Match, correct. So
cool.
they have won a match.
Yeah.
So and we saw in those first two games, and in particular the Tigers, Bjorn might have been tempted, having lost that first game 11-3,
yeah.
but he wanted to keep it for
20
now,
seconds.
you know, when he can have perhaps more of
20
an impact.
seconds.
So the coaches have got to think carefully about when they play that timeout card. So at 8-6 up, Fanny Megawate is hoping she
8-6.
doesn't have to
Play.
play hers.
Wow.
The momentum continues.
9-6.
Yeah, great stuff at the net, first from Minota and then from Tugly.
Alyssa
10.
really managed
Match
just
point,
to hold on to
6.
that control.
There's a fault there, so they do win it. They started superbly, had a little stumble in the second game, but they won the match in the third, 11-6. So we're underway in the Barfoot and Thompson New Zealand Badminton League for 2021. Remember, 6 matches played tonight. If we're at 3-3, we go to Golden Game, and it is the Starship Rockets, a newly branded team, but many familiar names and
Match
players.
won by Starship Rockets. 11-3, 4-11, 11-6.
First look at the 3v3. What did you make of it, Raina?
Exciting, absolutely exciting. I think it was really cool for players to actually have the opportunity to go on as a 3-person team. And it's actually really exciting as well because I don't know if I'm overstepping by saying this, but I think this might be the first time, even internationally, it definitely is nationally the first time, that 3v3 has entered into this sort of competition league. And so, yeah, it'll be great to see how the other teams in the upcoming weeks actually tackle these 3v3 games, because it definitely is a different sort of tactic and dynamic that is required to really hone in on those games. But anyway, we have our winners from Starship Rockets over there with Andrew, so let's go.
Thanks, Raina. I enjoyed that. I've never seen 3v3 before. You guys look like you had some fun as well. Is it a good format to play?
Yeah, I'm not really used to it because we always play 3v3 after training as a fun game, so it's kind of different to play it in a competition kind of format, yeah.
It looked like half the skill was actually getting out of the way. Is that what it is sometimes, making sure you're not tempted to get in the road?
Yeah, it's all about teamwork, really. Like, we got to try and get our positions right and look for the right thing. So it's a bit different to normal badminton.
And Manny, you've done the right thing. You're too far away to talk to, so we can't have a chat with you right now. But we'll catch up with you later on tonight, don't you? Well done, guys. On the board, you're away. And tell me about the new backing with Starship Foundation. That's a wonderful name to have on the back of the uniform, isn't it, for a great charity?
Yeah, it's awesome to be representing a new sponsor, and super happy that it's a charity like Starship. Yeah, really happy to do that.
Good stuff. Well, you've done them proud so far. Well done. Starship Rockets are underway, winning the first match tonight in the 3v3. Up next, we've got the New Zealand number 1, Edward Lau, up against the up-and-comer, the under-19 number 1 in Ricky Cheng. It's the men's singles next.
We were in a remote bay. Jasmine had a cardiac arrest. She had less than a 3% chance of making it.
The accident happened in Fiji.
The doctor said to me, "We're gonna bring him home."
When a child's life hangs in the balance, the staff at New Zealand's only paediatric intensive care unit will be there for them. Please, join the Starship Foundation as we continue to provide brighter futures for our most critically ill children. Go to starship.org.nz and donate now.
Welcome back to the Barfoot and Thompson New Zealand Badminton League for 2021. $20,000. There's lots of numbers that roll off the tongue there. $20,000 up for grabs for the teams in this year's competition with new teams, new venues and a new format. We've just seen that with the 3v3. Starship Foundation Rockets are underway. They're on the board and they lead it 1-0 over the Tiger Brokers Tigers. But there's going to be a lot of fun with that 3v3 as we go through the competition over the coming weeks. Still to come tonight, let's have a look at the other matches that are going to roll out here on our show courts at the Waitakere Badminton Centre. Women's singles, Trillo and Rosario. Men's doubles, women's doubles, and we finish with the mixed doubles, unless, of course, we're at 3-3 and we need a golden game. Up next, though, it's a fascinating one. It's the men's singles, and it's Edward Lau, the MVP of this competition last year, up against the New Zealand under-19 number 1, Ricky Cheng. Raina Phillips alongside in commentary, and I promoted Edward leading into the break. I said the New Zealand number 1. He is, of course, number 2 in the men's singles, but he was the MVP in this competition. So he's the guy to beat, isn't he, in this competition?
So, yeah. And I think it is interesting because obviously our NZ number 1 is Abhinav Minota, who is also in Starship Rockets. So it is cool to see Ricky actually going in as a new player in this league and actually taking that spot for the men's singles.
Black. You choose this side. Will you serve or receive? You will receive. Edward, you will serve. Thank you. Swap ends, please.
Kelvin, don't you dare get this wrong, because Trish did a great job with 6 players on court. Kelvin Sui, our chair umpire. Vikash Mukherjee is the service judge. So Edward Lau, the initial notes had Edward at 19, but he's showing on our screens as 20, so I'm assuming he's just recently turned 20, still a very young man, and talked a lot about him during the competition last year, the potential that he has at such a young age, and he really does have an all-court game, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's absolutely brilliant. He's been strong all through juniors, and it's really cool just to come back as someone who has been away from badminton for a while, and just to see, as you said, that potential that he's just stepped into and will continue to step into.
And he really has relished the opportunities against his older opponents over the last couple of years. Well, Ricky Cheng has that challenge now ahead of him at 18. Men's singles ranking of 18 in the country, but he is the number 1 under-19 player. Plays his badminton out of North Harbour, and I'm sure there might be a few nerves here with Ricky, so he'll want to settle pretty quickly, whilst Edward will be aware of that, and he'll try to race away to an early lead if he can. What do you know about Ricky? Have you seen him a lot at all?
A little bit, yeah. I used to train with him at North Harbour. I don't know whether he'll have nerves. Maybe the only nerve is actually just being on camera. But for Edward and Ricky, I'd say this is
ready to play.
A usual game of training, just a bit more higher stakes of $20,000.
Yeah, and there's quite a bit between them in the rankings, but there's only a couple of years in age. So I'm sure they do know a fair bit about each other. And if not playing against each other, then certainly in various age group teams and national squads. This does become important, though, now for the Tigers. Edward Lau comes in as the hot favourite to win this one, but they really need to level it up, having lost that opening 3v3. And I think we'll see the 3v3 be the joker in the pack. I mean, these matches, we can often see where the relative strengths and weaknesses of teams are, but the 3v3 is going to go either way any night, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think, as we saw in the game that we just watched, with just how quickly it changed, you know, and I think it brings quite an unpredictable factor to this whole league.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Tiger Brokers Tigers, represented by Edward Lau. And on my left, Starship Rockets, represented by Ricky Cheng. Tiger Broker Tigers to serve. Love all. Play.
Ricky looks a bit
One
in
love.
disbelief at that line call. Or maybe it was just the shock of the smash off the bat.
And there is that all-court coverage from Lau.
Yeah. Yeah, I think something that Ricky might
Two
actually have to
love.
adjust to in this league is the fact that it's uniquely 2-11, which is something he hasn't experienced in his junior career.
Well, this is the danger that I spoke of. If Lau gets away here,
Love.
and as Raina's pointed out, it's only 2-11, it can quickly become a mountain for Cheng to climb. And again, that one catches the line.
4 love.
Fanny Megawati with some encouragement.
Yeah, Ricky really seems to be struggling actually just to find the rhythm and actually just get into this game. And Edward is absolutely complete opposite. He just seems to be cruising
5
and doing a great job.
love.
Yeah, and if he wasn't nervous at the start, I reckon he
6
might be now.
love.
And it's nerves brought on by the scoreboard. Here we go. It's,
Service
some
over.
support from his teammates
1
as well.
6.
Lau just losing his footing a little, but nonetheless don't take anything
2,
away from a well-played
6.
point by Cheng.
Service over. 7-2.
Oh, beautifully played. Lau was lucky though, because
Service over.
that shuttle almost hitting the rafters here at the Waitakere Badminton Centre.
3-7.
It'll be great to see what Ricky does now with this momentum he's got going.
Flat
Service over.
shot from Lau that just catches
8,
Cheng out of position.
3.
Just missed. Tell you one thing that's very different
Service
to last
over.
year's league, Raina, is the conditions.
8.
We were playing in winter, and I remember it was 5, 6, 7 degrees some nights.
Well, I remember watching from home in front of the fire.
Oh, goodness me. You certainly wouldn't be
Service
doing
over.
that at the moment. It's the height of summer, and
9,
it's been very warm, very
4.
muggy in Auckland today. Lau now 2 points from the first game. Yeah, well done, Cheng.
That was a great combo, especially how
Service
Ricky just
over.
came in and just knew to follow it in with anticipation.
5-9.
Here's hoping to get a few more on the scoreboard.
Service over.
Bit of a grimace there from Ricky. I think he just is feeling the pressure. Obviously with Edward now in 10.
Game point 5.
But if not right now, hopefully in the next game he can really settle into his own style.
He's missed it. That's the rally of the match so
Service
far.
over.
What a shot though from Edward, just unfortunately not pulled in
10.
enough.
I think this is good for Ching though. He feels he's in the match here, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Likely to lose this first game, but he feels he's in the match with 6 points on the board. Make that 7.
Seven, 10.
Lau was headed over to the umpire asking to use the towel and was refused permission. There it is,
Game.
11-7. So Edward Lau wins it, but after marching
First
away
game
to
won
a good
by
early
Tiger
lead,
Brokers Tigers 11-7.
Ricky Ching pretty much went point for point. Just that slow start costing him in the end. But I would imagine that Fanny Megawati there is encouraging him very much along those lines, that you're in this match. Just start stronger in the second game.
Yeah, and I think if Ricky can just take that energy and just like, I guess that level of confidence that he just managed to find halfway through that game that was finished into this coming game, I do think we'll be seeing a very different result.
He's Bjorn very animated with Edward Lau. Edward's he's a tough player to talk to though for a coach, because this is symptomatic of him. He never stops moving, does he? He's look at him. Look. He's on the move. He's doing something. And coaches must have to get used to that personality.
I think it's a singles player personality. That's why they offer to play singles.
Always on the go. But he is listening. He is listening, folks. He is an intelligent young man and a student of the game. Such a bright future. And for Ricky Ching, it's not putting too strong a turn on it to say that he might be hoping to follow in Edward Lau's footsteps, because it's that transition, isn't it, coming out of juniors into senior level badminton. It's tough in any sport, but it's really difficult, isn't it? You can be the #1 junior, which Ricky is, but suddenly you come up into the big boys ranks, and it can be pretty tough.
Yeah, and I think almost it is more of that mental
Second game.
and just that way of adjusting yourself. Yeah, mentally.
Love
to
all.
actually be like, Cal's top dog, and now I'm
Play.
just going to remake it.
Cannot afford unforced errors against
1
Lau.
love.
Oh, the deception. And, there was a slip there from Ching, but the slip was because he was caught in two minds. Just asking for the court surface to be dried here. As I say, it is a very muggy night, and the sweat will play a part, and these players have got to know that. I mean, Raina, you tell me from your own experience, you have to trust the floor, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. If you can't trust the floor, it just adds this
2
whole other dynamic
love.
to just being able to move
Play.
when you need to move.
Yeah, it's good.
3, love.
So this is a very familiar pattern repeating here from the first game.
Fault.
Bit of power there from Cheng.
Service over.
And again, as soon as a player hits the court surface here, they'll be out pretty quickly. And line judges having to be multi-talented.
Thank you, Ricky.
A benefit, though, of having some sweat on the court is you do get a cheeky little rest.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, yeah. And how many times will we see a seasoned veteran hitting the deck? I think I need a breather. Oh, it doesn't go. Okay, now Ricky Cheng's got what he didn't have in the first game.
Yeah.
He's in close contact early on. Now can he go toe-to-toe with Lau? Well, here's your answer, isn't that wonderful? Really taking some confidence from this now.
That was brilliantly played by Ricky. I mean, if he can keep this up, great, but also
3.
how exciting.
Oh.
Yeah, another name, another, of course, badminton followers will know of Ricky from the junior ranks, but it's just missed.
Service over.
There's, Jack Wang. How old's Jack
4,
watching there? I think Jack's 17.
3.
Yeah, correct.
So there are youngsters throughout all of these teams.
Oh, just unlucky there for Ricky.
Small margins, eh?
Yeah.
5, 3.
Allow that
6,
power game.
3.
You don't need to give him too much of an opportunity and he will pounce. Yeah, it's a good decision there from Cheng. It was pretty
Service
tight on the
over.
line, but just long.
4, 6. Service over. 7, 4.
Oh, stunning. It's just missed. What a rally. Gosh, I thought that had caught the line. But regardless of that, what a rally. The defensive skills of Cheng at different times there, keeping it alive.
Yeah, I always am amazed by, as well, for Edward Lau, how he just carries himself. I mean, he was just waltzing around on court, whereas for me, I'd be mid-panic attack.
Yeah, it does look effortless, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He just sort of, he gets around almost gazelle-like, but it belies the speed with which he gets around, and he has that reach as well. But that was great stuff. Cheng absolutely going toe-to-toe with his much higher-ranked opponent. This will be Ricky's only appearance
8,
tonight.
4.
Edward already having played in the 3v3 and will also play in the mixed doubles, our final match. Possibly our final match. Could be a golden game, of course.
Service over. 5, 8.
In between every point, Fanny Megawati is sharing a few gems. And Ricky's listening. He is right in this.
Edward. Ricky.
We're seeing Ricky Cheng there, but Edward Lau, at just 20 years of age, showing the benefit of his experience. He took the towel and he wandered off down to his coach and told by the umpire to come back and get back in the match.
Service over.
Fanny looking a bit worried in the chair over there. Which is a very different story to Bjorn, who is
6.
Looking almost casual.
Yeah, although I wonder if this might be a little closer than Bjorn might have expected. He's lost the point, but I tell you what, Ricky Cheng early in that was like something out of the
10.
Matrix.
Match point.
He somehow got the
6.
body out of the way and got the racket on one of those flat drives from Lau. But it does bring up match point for Edward Lau. This to level it up at 1 apiece. The Tigers about to get on the board. Not just yet.
Service over. 7, 10.
Smash sets it up, and the little drop shot wins it. But that's a really good contest between the New Zealand #1 under-19 player in Ricky Cheng and the New Zealand #2 men's singles player in Edward Lau.
Match won by Tiger Brokers Tigers 11-7, 11-7.
Well, it's gone as we expected, Raina, and it sets us up now. We're at 1 apiece, but I think Ricky Cheng can take a lot out of that one, looking ahead to the rest of the Barfoot and Thompson League.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was a great debut match for Ricky into this league. It probably will take him, hopefully not too long, but maybe a few games just to get up to the pace that it is to play games only to 11. But no, that was a great performance by Edward, especially I think on the week of his birthday. And so here we go, getting ready with the winner, Edward Lau, over here with Andrew.
Thanks, Raina. Well done, mate. Against a very good young player. Here's me talking about you being the old guy at 20 years of age. How much did you know about Ricky coming into the game?
I know a lot about Ricky. We're both from Harbour, and we train together every time. Yeah.
And he put up a great fight, didn't he?
Yeah, he had really good shots, and he gets everything back.
Nice to get one on the board, though. It's a wonderful competition. You played so well last year. You looking forward to this league?
Yeah, looking forward to season 2. Like, everyone's got experience for it, and it's good to get the team on the board.
Well done, mate. Great to see you again. Our MVP from last year's league is on the board, Edward Lau, with a win in the men's singles. That ties it up between the Rockets and the Tigers at 1 apiece. Up next, it's the women's singles. Welcome back, everyone, to the Waitakere Badminton Hall as we await our next match on our show court here. The opening night of the Barfoot and Thompson New Zealand Badminton League for 2021. Andrew Dewhurst with you alongside Raina Phillips as we bring you this coverage tonight and tomorrow night and over the course of the next couple of months. Some wonderful badminton in store. We're level at 1 apiece after the 3v3 went the way of the Rockets, but then Edward Lau has levelled the ledger with a straight games win over a brave Ricky Cheng. Still to come, we have our men's doubles, women's doubles, and we'll wrap it up with the mixed. Remember, if we're at 3-3, it goes to a golden game. But here they come. It is the women's singles, and this is a fascinating one. Courtney Trillo up against Caitlin Rosario and Raina Phillips. This is, when you look at perhaps outside of the 3v3, this is the one that could go either way tonight.
Yeah, definitely if you look at the players' strengths individually, you have Caitlin, who is tactically strong, like brilliant shots, brilliant consistency, and then you just have Courtney, who, honestly, endless energy, gets everything back. And so it'll be great to see how that plays out.
Vikash Mukherjee. So Courtney won the toss and has chosen to receive. Yeah, all you got to do on Courtney's bio is go right to the very last line. Go to the last line, and it says, loves early morning runs.
Gross.
All right. That tells you about her ability to stay in every point for as long as she can. She is very fit, and she will just keep getting the shuttle back in play if she can.
My favourite thing about Courtney's bio is if you read all the other players' bios, they talk about how stoked they are that the league's starting because they can stop doing fitness-based training and actually do gameplay. Whereas you see Courtney saying that her favourite thing about training is fitness testing. Bizarre.
Yeah. No, some people are built that way.
Personally unrelatable.
The genetic makeup, but also the ability to compute all of that and keep pushing themselves through the pain barrier. There is Caitlin Rosario at 19 years of age, currently ranked number 5 in the country in women's singles out of the North Harbour Association. And both these ladies were regular contributors, familiar faces during the New Zealand League last season. And she's a rangy player, isn't she? And has the ability to find that piece of brilliance from anywhere on the court.
Yeah, especially from the backcourt, Caitlin has beautiful slice shots. And I think with her height as well, she just manages to get this steepness and basically take all speed off. That makes it extremely hard to actually return.
Ready to play?
Courtney did take some time last year, and by her own admission, she was a little nervous through the opening couple of games, but goodness me, she grew into the competition.
Yeah.
And I think she'll be all the better for that experience last year, going into this, her first match of the 2021 campaign.
Yeah, Courtney's actually identified her goal for this year actually being to take out the national singles title. And so it will be cool to actually see whether this will be a good way to start her competitive season.
So remember, the tie is level at 1 apiece.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, star-shaped rocket represented by Caitlin Rosario. On my left, Tigers, Brogus Tigers represented by Courtney Trillo. Starship to serve, love all, play.
Well, there she is already.
One
annoying.
Service over, 1 love.
It's the court coverage. We saw it there in the opening exchange.
Service over. 1-all.
Right in the corner.
Service over. 2-1. Three, 1.
Seems a bit start and stop of a beginning for both teams, but it's cool to see Courtney's actually taking the lead in this one.
Service over. 2-3.
Well, the smash was the winner, but it was set up by a lovely touch at the net.
3-all.
Yeah, right. I mean, that rally right there was a perfect example of just the technical skills that Caitlin does have.
Service over.
Misjudgment
4,
there by
3.
Caitlin. It was a long way inside that baseline.
That seems to be the third shot as well that Courtney's managed to actually pin out with Caitlin's back line.
That's nice.
Service over. 4-all. Service over. 5-4.
So as expected, little between these two players. Oh, again.
Service over. 5-all.
I think it's when players actually double corner Courtney that it actually catches her off guard with her speed.
Service over. 6-5.
Such an asset though, isn't it? Because that court coverage, it forces the opponent into higher risk badminton.
Yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
7-5.
And actually talking about court coverage, I remember whenever I had Courtney on my tournament side and I had to play her, you really have to be willing to do a marathon.
Yep.
And so if Caitlin can actually step up to that long game, we'll actually be able to see her maximise her technical skills.
8-5.
Yeah, because the risk is you're tempted to go for winners
Yeah.
too early, aren't
Yeah.
you? Another example of it, trying to catch the lines.
5.
Trillo in control now.
Service over. 6-9.
Rosario needs to go on a little run of points here. Can't do so.
Service over.
Trillo brings up game point.
10. Game point. 6. Out. Service over. 7-10.
Oh, got caught in two minds, and game point, the worst possible moment for that. So Trillo takes it out 11-7.
Tigers, broker Tigers, 11-7.
Yeah, sorry.
It seemed to me that Caitlin wasn't prepared to get into those long rallies. Seems to me quite a few unforced errors off her racket, looking for winners, and partly because of the pressure that Trillo's all-court game brings.
Yeah. There's almost two things that I noticed from Caitlin's game just then is, as you said perfectly correctly, is that she seems to be going for those excessive winners that aren't paying off, as you see her not actually clipping the lines. And then the second one is she is getting caught out a lot in the backcourt, which I am wondering how her back injury, which is a historical injury, is actually affecting that, or whether it's just she's just not ready for it in this current game.
Yeah, and if you're not ready, you're probably going to go through an awful lot of pain against Courtney Trillo. Fanny Megawati encouraging. And Caitlin Rosario, just for the moment, pondering. She's right in this, Goodness me, it's very even. I think it was 6-6 or 6-5, and it was just that middle part of the game that Trillo dominated and kicked clear.
Yeah. It's actually really cool seeing how Courtney is performing today compared to even last season. Like, I knew last season the key strength she had, as we've been saying this whole time, is her fitness, is her speed. But it's actually seeing that she's also, I would love to know what she's been doing over summer, because technical skills, she seems a lot more confident.
Service over. 1 love.
Just missing.
2 love. Service over.
One of her favoured shots, but that one halfway down the net.
Service over. 3-1. One.
So a couple of unforced errors now off the racket of Trillo.
Service over. 2-4.
I think that was an example again how Caitlin could have just kept playing just a straight, simple block, but just tries to overcomplicate it a little bit too much.
Oh, that's nice. Good racket speed.
3-4.
Courtney is really looking a lot stronger and a lot confident in her shots, and I think that's really cool to see. And I think that actually was, I think that was the main thing that she struggled with at the start of last season, is just having that confidence in her shots.
Four all.
So she's shut down that early deficit now, Trillo.
Five, 4.
And I wonder if a timeout's not too far away here from Fanny Megawati.
She's definitely flipping the card quite a lot, eh?
Well, that makes your point.
6-4.
And there is a timeout, but let's stay with your point about Trillo's racket work, her skills. I mean, that summed it up. Yeah. Beautiful touch at the net.
Yeah, and it is, like, honestly, it is really cool to see. and just how much, just that added bit of confidence has, as you can see in these past 2 games, has just lifted her level of performance.
So that is a look of concern, isn't it, from Fanny Megawati?
20 seconds.
Really looking to
20 seconds.
grab Caitlin's attention here.
Thank you.
This is number 3 in the country against number
6,
5, remember,
4,
with Trillo
play.
at 3, leading 6-4, having won the first. Yeah, Courtney
Service over.
might have picked that up on our sound effect, saying, oh, nice.
5,
Just
6.
applauding the placement there of Rosario.
Service over. 7, 5.
Mate.
This is really impressive. It really is.
8, 5.
Quite a statement performance thus far. Not over the line yet, but Trillo looking really good at the start of this National League. Again, there's that
Service
shot
over.
from Rosario. Haven't seen enough of it, have we? At least not
6,
successfully
8.
executed.
And I think that point was actually probably a crucial point for Caitlin and her mentality to stick in this game right now.
Service over. 9, 6. Service over. 7, 9.
Match point.
Service over. 10. Match point. 7. Service over.
Trillo's turn to try the miracle shot.
8, 10.
Okay, this is
9, 10.
a little nervy now. 2 of the 3 match points have disappeared. But not the third. Really impressive from Courtney Trillo. Caitlin Rosario trying her best to take it into the third, but 11-7, 11-9. And that is a composed performance. We know about her court speed and fitness, but I think the highlight there, Raina, and
Tigers Broker Tiger, 11-7, 11-9.
And you spoke about it, is the racket work and the skill work from Trillo. That's a really promising sign, not just for the Barfoot and Thompson League, but for her year ahead, as you say, hoping to win the title.
Yeah, that was an absolutely outstanding performance from Courtney. I definitely agree with you, Andrew. And I'd love to see where Courtney goes. If this is her first game in the league, how she can actually continue with this momentum into her next few games. A bit unfortunate, though, with Caitlin, which I'm sure she probably feels that sentiment. Mentally, she seemed a bit hesitant, but hopefully she can regain that composure that I know she's capable of. But over to Andrew with our winner, Courtney Trillo.
Hey.
Thanks, Raina. Hey, indeed. Well done.
Thank you.
We want to know what you've been up to in the off season, so to speak, because we know about your fitness, we know about your court coverage, but some wonderful racket work out there, really looking good.
I tend to, when I watch a lot of badminton, so I've been watching a lot of the Opens, I tend to pick up on some things, and I think watching badminton improves my skill level. Yeah, I think it's watching
Yeah.
And I recall last year, first couple of games, you were a bit nervous, weren't you? But you feel at home now? Is this a whole lot easier second time around?
Yeah, feeling better tonight. Yeah, definitely. It was good.
Well done, great performance. Well done. Really impressive. Courtney Trillo gets a win for the Tiger Brokers Tigers, and they now move into the lead in this competition. Coming up next, it is the men's doubles. Welcome back. We're about midway through this opening night of the Barfoot and Thompson New Zealand Badminton League, and it is the Tiger Brokers Tigers who have edged in front. They trailed after losing the opening match tonight in the 3v3, but they've won both the men's and women's singles with that performance, 11-7, 11-9 Trillo over Rosario. We'll round things out with mixed doubles. Remember, if we're 3-3, we go to a golden game, which is always an added excitement. Up next, though, let's welcome our men's doubles combatants onto our show court here at Waitakere Badminton Centre. And it's very much a case here of the experienced pairing from Starship Rockets up against the young guns of the Tigers in Feng and Wang. Raina Phillips alongside, and certainly Jonathan Curtin, Dylan Sajasa at 28 and 26 years of age. They've got all the experience on their side. They're ranked at number 4 and number 6 respectively in men's doubles, so they'll go into this one as favourites, but Feng and Wang, they will fancy their chances of an upset, I'm sure.
Yeah, it definitely will be cool to actually just see how the younger pair go. I mean, Dylan and Jonathan, they've trained together, they've played together, they're in the New Zealand senior squad together, but it will be a good chance for Jack and Josh as teammates who actually went to the World Juniors in 2019 over in Russia to actually just see how they can go against players of the older age.
And always fascinating to see specialists in one particular discipline taking on another. Josh Feng tends to be a single specialist. We'll talk about that more in a moment or two as we look first at in the near court here. Jack Wang at 17, out of Canterbury, but has moved to Auckland for university studies. And those rankings will improve, of course, as he progresses further into the senior ranks. But what an opportunity for him to play in this level of company. And alongside, for the moment, he'll be on the other side shortly of Dylan Sajasa, 26 years of age, consistently one of New Zealand's better performers. And a steadying influence as well on the Starship team. Jonathan Curtin at 28, current men's doubles ranking of 4 in the country. And the final player to introduce to you is right in front of our camera, Josh Feng at 19. It's men's singles ranking of 41 again. As he comes out of the juniors and plays more seniors, that ranking's going to tumble way down. It's going to get a lot lower than that. And well, who knows, the youthful pairing, nothing to lose, going out there against the favoured older players. They're a chance, aren't they?
Yeah, and I mean, I personally, when I was playing, always loved having that element of being the underdog, because as you said, there's no pressure and you can just go out and do your best, and if anything, it's actually pressure on the pair who are expected to win. So
ready to play?
Yeah, it'll be cool.
So look for the court craft and the almost the instinctive ability to know where your teammate is from Curtin and Sajasa, and perhaps the exuberance, the almost rash at times keenness to go for winners, to play their shots from Feng and Wang. Final few moments before we see this one get underway. And it is now the Rockets who are in that position of it's almost a must-win.
Yeah.
Remember, if a team gets to 3, at the very least, they've guaranteed themselves a golden game to decide it. So for Curtin and Sajasa, they are desperate here to level this one up at 2 apiece. Still to come the women's
Ladies and
doubles
gentlemen,
and the mixed doubles.
On my right, Tiger Brokers Tigers, represented by Joshua Feng and Jack Wang. On my left, Starship Rockets, represented by Jonathan Curtin and Dylan Sajasa. Starship Rockets to serve, Jonathan Curtin to Jack Wang. Love all, play.
Dylan Sajasa just already showing signs of the emotion that he can bring, and it's often outwardly expressed.
Service over. 1-all. Two, 1.
It's a good start here from the youngsters.
3, 1.
Wow. And no fault ball. That is a perfect ace.
4, 1.
Oh, he tried it again.
Service over. 2, 4.
That was important, you feel, for Sajasa and Curtin to stay in touch here. Big quick hands.
Dylan's always
3,
great with just his level
4.
of anticipation he brings to every game. It's That honestly is probably his greatest strength.
Out. Service over. 5-3. Six, 3.
Danger signs here for the Rockets.
Service over. 4-6.
And as you said at the start, this really is, I guess, a make it or break it match for the Rockets to actually just stick in this game.
Oh, goodness
wow.
me. Oh, I think Curtin just for a moment had
Service
stopped
over.
thinking he'd already hit a
7,
winner.
4.
Brilliant from Josh, though.
Great retrieval.
I mean, I thought Curtin had a winner.
Well, they're in trouble here.
Yeah.
This is really
8,
impressive
4.
from Wang and Feng. So
Service
close
over.
to pulling the trigger there, Sajasa.
5-8.
Yeah, Jonathan
over.
Curtin doesn't like that. And he's asking the
9,
chair to overrule,
5.
but it is so rare that they do that.
Fault. 10. Game point. 5.
I'm pretty stunned, to be honest.
Service over. 6-10.
Well, this pair won't panic. You know that for sure. They've played a lot of badminton and they've been in a lot of different situations. So if Wang and Feng are to win this, you know they'll be pushed every point along the way. Oh, that is great.
Game.
Just pouncing at the net, Jack Wang.
First game won by Tiger Brokers Tigers. 11-6.
And you almost have to say they did that pretty easy.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it again. I am stunned. Yeah, that was great.
It's decisive.
Yeah.
I'm thinking now of the memory that's with me immediately after that game, and for me it's the decisive movement from Jack Wang especially. He's attacking the net, he's attacking the serves, he's not waiting, they're not nervous, they're right in this and looking to take it to their more experienced opponents.
Yeah, the Tigers seem to, for me, I think looking and just watching them, seem to just be gelling a lot better than Curtin and Suajasa, which seems strange because, I mean, Dylan and Jono have been playing for years together. But maybe it is just that underdog factor. I mean, maybe it is because the pressure isn't on them and they can just go in and just give it a good home.
I want to put a microphone on this man. I want to hear what Bjorn is saying during this New Zealand league because I'm loving the animation. I'm loving the absolute total engagement from the coach here.
Absolute hype man, eh?
Oh, fantastic. Former German representative player.
Okay.
And this is his stock and trade, isn't it? This is his specialty that he's coaching now is the doubles. Okay. They look calm, don't they?
Yeah, they look pretty chill, to be honest.
So, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe we need a few of those trademark
Second game.
Sojasa shouts to get them going.
Love all. Play.
Wow.
The onslaught continues.
I am extremely impressed with Jack and just how he's coming out as a junior still and coming out this strong.
Service over. 1 all. Service over. 2-1.
Seems every time they lift, so Jasa
3,
and Curtin,
1.
they're in trouble. The power of the Tigers is just getting them in all sorts of trouble.
Play.
Just wonder if they need to make that adjustment, start playing a little flatter.
Benny seems to be flipping the card again.
Okay. Oh, so that'll help stop the card coming out.
Over.
Love
2,
a cheeky net roll.
3.
Bit of miscommunication there, or rather just no communication.
Service over.
That's a
3,
momentum killer,
4.
that one. Once you decide not to play, I don't know that I've ever seen anyone get out of a situation like that. But again, the Rockets lift and the Tigers have the power.
Yeah.
Nice touch from Curtin.
Service over. 4, 5.
Really
Service
cannot
over.
afford
6,
to be making
4.
service errors, especially when it's this tight and especially when it's this match, which I think is clear that the Starship Rockets are depending on.
Service over. 5, 6. Service over. 7, 5.
I don't know if it's just me, but Josh Feng almost seems a bit more charged this season compared to last season. I don't know whether it's because, you know, it's his second time coming out to play, but he just seems a lot more confident on court.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing the benefit of last season already.
8,
And we saw
5.
within last season, we saw the young players grow in confidence.
Yeah.
They're getting top-level match practice against the best in the country.
Yeah.
And
Service
the younger
over.
players,
6.
they start to feel
8.
like they belong.
Yeah, like, I mean, minus the relay this went, but Josh is just having this air of dominance that, you know, he didn't even feature in any of his games last season. So it's great to see.
Oh, they almost got out of that one. There's a good bit of coverage there from Feng initially.
7, 8.
Oh, is it a string break?
Yeah, I think it was. Well spotted.
Unfortunate timing for the Tigers, but hopefully that doesn't set them back on their streak. But maybe that was the perfect turn for Curtin and Sorjasa.
Oh, don't tighten up now. Jack Wang with,
8 all.
let's call it an unforced error. And for younger players, less experienced players, it's one thing to lead, it's another to cross the finish line.
Yeah.
It's long, and they're lucky, and so Jasa knows it.
9, 8.
He was desperately trying to get that.
I thought it was going to be another fluky flick of the wrist. Not quite
Service
ready enough
over.
for that
9,
one, don't know.
all.
That's much better, and extremely well timed considering
Service
we're now
over.
going to
10.
10-9.
Game point. 9.
And a rare explosive moment from the Rockets. They've been defending, it seems, 90% of the time. Oh, and that's a mistake. So in the closing stages of that game, a couple
Second
of
game won
unforced
by
errors
Starship Rockets.
of the
11, 9.
rackets
one
of the
game,
Tigers.
all.
And are they now back in the favourite seat? They get through a tough second game. The youngsters, do they feel like, oh, wow, we've blown our chance? You know,
Yeah.
can they lift again?
Well, hopefully, but lucky. I mean, they changed their #1 cheerleader in Heitman and coach, of course. But yeah, they definitely did drop off towards the end, and maybe that's because just that lack of experience, not necessarily in badminton, but experience with pressure.
Fanny Megawati is just delighted to be able to have this chat. Because for a moment there, I reckon even she might have been thinking, hello, am I experienced men's doubles pairing? Are they about to be upset here?
Yeah, and I think in her pre-game accounting, I'd say she probably was having bets on these boys pulling it through for them.
Yep. Oh, they're certainly favoured to win this one, the Starship Rockets, and they may well, but they're going to be forced to go the distance.
Final
There's
game.
A few points here I think
Love
are crucial
all.
here. Momentum
Play.
is vital here for all sorts of reasons.
Service over. 1. Lau.
It's long. I think for
Service over. 1.
Wang and
all.
Feng, they're the least prepared to play scoreboard pressure.
Yeah.
So I think they've got to be right in touch here.
Yeah.
2, 1.
And that's purely down to experience. These two have played in so many different situations.
Service over. 2, all.
I feel like that was a really close one,
3,
but
2.
Dylan found the line. Wow.
It's over. 3, all.
Reasonable size unit, isn't he? And
Absolute unit.
given the opportunity, he's going to throw every one of those kilos into those smashes. Oh, he just got it too flat. Eyes lit up and he couldn't resist.
It's over. 4.
I'm actually
3.
loving the opportunity because if I'm honest, it's my first time actually going to see Jack on court playing properly, and I'm loving it.
It's caught the line.
Brilliant.
Service over. 4, all.
They're keeping in it. They're keeping in it. They can still take it.
serve.
5-4.
It's about now we start to look for that timeout card to be flipping around in
Wow.
Tony Megawati's hands.
6-4.
It seems Josh's flick serve is really becoming problematic for the Rocket boys.
Oh, this is a run of points here. Hang on. Here comes Fanny.
7-4.
Here comes Fanny.
Starship Rockets.
And good coaching. She has to intervene here. And again, I stress that for the younger pairing to play with the advantage of a lead, it just boosts their confidence. It keeps them on their toes. Younger players will tend to be affected more by the pressure, by a situation. So play in front and look at Bjorn. You can do this. You can do this. Look at you boys. You're 3 points ahead. He's just absolutely giving them every confidence in the world. But don't count out Sojasa and Curtin, because they won't panic. This is not only a
20
performance
seconds.
so far,
20
regardless of the
seconds.
result, it's a performance that tells the other teams that we are going to be more than competitive in the men's doubles with these two players.
Yeah.
7-4. Play.
Wow. They continue on.
8-4.
Oh, well, it's risk and reward,
Service
isn't it?
over.
Yeah.
5.
And on that occasion,
8.
Feng and Wang, they have a little giggle. It's an embarrassed giggle.
You win some, you lose some, and then you just giggle the rest.
Is that now? I'm involved these days in running a golf club. Is that a whiskey? Is that a top shelf? When you miss the shuttle on the serve?
A vessel.
It's not holding them back though.
Service over. 9-5. Service over. 6-9.
Okay, let's see how the experience plays out here now.
Oh, I'm getting nervous.
Seven, 9.
I am
Time
frothing
out.
this
Tiger
game,
Brokers,
Andrew.
Tigers.
Yeah, and now Bjorn just wants to calm things down. And this is a good timeout. His players are 9-7. They're 2 points away from a win, but he just halts the momentum and perhaps the psychological impact of Curtin and Sojasa here, and just tries to calm his players down. The last thing he wants to mention here is the score. He just wants to take that right out of their heads and get them focused on the next shot, the next rally.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think down here in
20
Jack's bio,
seconds.
his best
20
piece of advice that
seconds.
he's ever been given is the most important point is this point, which is pretty spot on for
Yep, absolutely.
this particular point.
7-9.
Some
Play.
of the greatest sports people in the world have memories like goldfish. They cannot remember a
8,
thing.
9.
10 seconds ago, gone.
Is that because they play contact sports with TBIs?
Next point, they just move on. Well played. Here they come. Here they come. And they're vocal with it.
All.
The crowd is definitely feeling it right now. Oh.
10.
The
Match
Rockets have
point,
done
9.
superbly to actually bring back into the lead and actually take it.
The composure. We've talked about it. They've been there, done that. Can they do this? they can. Oh, what a fight. What quality shown by Jonathan Curtin and Dylan Sojasa. In the match of the night so far, they win at 11-9 in the third. And Wang and Feng, oh, they'll feel harshly dealt to here, but they can hold their heads up. And as I say, indicating to the rest of the teams that they are a threat in this men's doubles match.
Match won by Starship Rockets, 6-11, 11-9, 11-9.
And really, you could almost have written that script. It was the experience that came through, and yet for Wang and Feng, they'll be so much better for having been involved in a match like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, you know, coming off that game, Josh and Jack might be holding a bit of disappointment and not getting the results they needed, but I think they still need to focus on the fact that they came out and they honestly performed at such a high standard. And as you said, Andrew, they are setting themselves up as a force to be reckoned with. But absolutely fantastic for Dylan and Jono to pull it through, keep it composed. And here we have them. Let's hear from them right now, Andrew.
Thanks, Raina. Wow. A clash between a couple of young guns. I don't want to age you boys here, but it was experience. It was a calm nature that got you through that. You guys must have been there, done that so many times, and you did. You stayed very calm in some very tough moments.
Yeah, no, those juniors, they played really well, really challenged us. We managed to, calm down and find our rhythm again at the end. So, yeah, pretty happy with how we finished strong.
Jonathan, did you feel like early on you guys were lifting a lot and bringing their power into the game? Was that an issue for you?
Yeah, we were really defensive, and the shuttles are fast enough that we couldn't stay in the defence. We needed to find the space and come in, but we really struggled to do that until the second set.
What is it? Can you describe it, or is it an intangible? What is it that gets you through moments like that? Is it just an instinctive knowledge of each other, or are you talking to each other to get yourselves through it?
Yeah, just trying to keep each other in the right mindset, trying to stay calm, and just go all out. It's all or nothing, really. We just try and play our best.
Well, you needed to, and you did. Well done. Congratulations, bringing the Rockets back into this one. So Starship Rockets have got that one on the board, and boy, was that close. Could have gone either way, but we are nicely levelled up now at 2 apiece. Our next match is women's doubles.
Join the Starship Foundation as we continue to provide brighter futures for children in New Zealand's only paediatric intensive care unit. Go to starship.org.nz and donate now.
Welcome back on Sky Sport Next as we bring you continued coverage of the opening night of the Barfoot and Thompson New Zealand Badminton League, and it is a thriller. We're really being served up some delightful badminton here tonight to get us underway in 2021. It is 2-2. Remember, if we finish at 3 apiece, we go to a golden game. Our final match is mixed doubles, and arguably, well, it's tough. Goodness me, that's going to be such a quality match. But still to come, mixed doubles may be a golden game, but this women's doubles clash will go some way to deciding it as we welcome our players onto our show court here at the Waitakere Badminton Hall. Tigers lead the Rockets out. It's going to be our first look tonight at Rowan Apalasuk. She'll be partnering Anona Pak, who featured earlier in a loss in the 3v3. Whilst we see Caitlin Rosario, who was defeated in the singles by Courtney Trillo, and Alyssa Tagli pairing up for the Rockets. Okay, 2 apiece. Women's doubles, mixed doubles to come. Raina Phillips, are we headed to Golden Game?
Oh, I absolutely hope so. Love some good drama on our Tuesday evening. No, but yeah, the Tigers are, from an outside perspective, looking like
Alyssa,
probably the
toss,
stronger
green
pair.
or black?
But I mean, with
Black?
Alyssa Tagli
So
on the
Tigers?
Rockets, who is very experienced in terms of doubles especially,
Anona to
it
serve
will definitely
receive?
still be interesting.
Alyssa will receive. Which side do you guys want? Kelly will receive. Which side do you want to use?
Kelvin Sui, our chair umpire. And we see so much experience now in these final 2 matches in the tie, and Anona Pak brings almost all of it for the Tiger Brokers Tigers. But Alyssa, you've mentioned we've got Abhinav Minota to feature with Alyssa in the mixed doubles to finish things up. But Anona Pak at 27, ranked at number 1 in women's doubles and mixed, and of course carries an international ranking as well with her exploits overseas, and still chasing that Olympic dream as well. Caitlin Rosario for the Rockets at 19, as mentioned, having lost that singles earlier tonight, so she'll be all the more keen to try and get her team a point on the board with a women's doubles ranking of 18. She is something of a singles specialist though, Caitlin.
Yeah.
On the far side there is Alyssa Tagli with a women's doubles ranking of 2 and a mixed of 3, so that tells you about her area of expertise. She's not one to play in singles. This is very much her domain, and she will look to try and be a very strong influence on this this match. Rowan Apalasuk, I think one of the absolute superstars of last year's competition. Incredible at age 16, and she just grew in confidence throughout. A wonderful story as to what this competition can do for younger players, and of course she gets to partner Anona Pak, the New Zealand number 1, so who better to play alongside? But watch for Rowan Apalasuk. She's got the game face on. She will be focused, zeroed in, and just where she's practicing there is where she can be so dominant at net.
Am I correct in remembering that Rowan and Anona were in the One Pure Wolves together last season? Which is actually cool that they're playing together again in this season. So they're obviously going to be carrying that experience as a pair through to there. Because I know that Caitlin and Alyssa are a bit of a newer pair in terms of, you know, gelling and stuff. So will be good to see how this goes.
Yeah, if you were to give one of these pairings favouritism, it may well sit with the Tiger Brokers Tigers, but only just. This is pretty tough to call, it has to be said, but as I say, Rowan will have learned so much from that experience last year and playing alongside Anona. Anona not long back, I think, from overseas, so I should have checked as to how long she's been out of the quarantine, but 2 weeks in a hotel room doesn't do anyone much good, does it? Let alone top-level sports people.
Yeah. I think she's now been out of hotel quarantine maybe just shy of 2 weeks.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Tiger Brokers Tigers, represented by Rowan Apelisok and Nona Peck. And on my left, Starship Rockets, represented by Caitlin Rosario and Elisa Tagle. Tiger Brokers Tigers to serve, Anona Peck to Caitlin Rosario. Love all. Play. Service over. 1 love.
Yeah, great serve.
That was beautiful from Alyssa.
2 love. Out. Service over. 1-2.
Always smiling, Anona. Good communication.
2-all. Out. Service over. 3-2. Service over. 3-all.
The Rockets failing a bit to just find the right length for their shots.
Four-three.
Remember, the tie is level at 2 apiece. Nice, and that's where
Service
Rosario
over.
can just slice across that shuttle and take the pace off.
4-all.
Yeah, Rosario definitely has the longer reach of all the girls on court, and you can really see that come through and the angle she's able to make from that.
Oh, that might have been going long, and I think Alyssa knows it.
Service over.
Nona and Rowan are actually quite an interesting pair because they've both identified the front court
5-4
as their individual strengths. And so, I mean, with two strong front players, it makes it a bit hard to take control of the net either way.
Six, 4. Play.
You just got the footwork a little wrong
Service
there,
over.
did Rowan.
5-6. Service over.
So Jack Wang at 17.
7-5.
Such a brave performance from Wang alongside Feng in that men's doubles. He'll be reasonably happy though, will Jack,
5.
watching this performance. Pak and Palasuk just starting to edge clear now. Well, initially there was confusion. Yours, yours, yours. No, it's out.
9-5.
Yeah, the Tigers will probably definitely be wanting to take this game, especially before it comes down to the mix with obviously Abhinav Minota paired with Alyssa Tuggley, which will be a strong pair.
A few too many errors off the rackets of the Rockets.
Game point 5. Service over. 6-10.
Oh, and they get it with a net roll. So they'll take it. And in the end,
First
a
game
pretty
won by Tiger
comprehensive
Brokers Tigers.
first game.
11-6.
11-6. It was very even early on. A little separation between the two. But, Raina, you mentioned it, that the Rockets struggled to find their length. And they must have had 2 or 3 shots that were long, harmlessly long over the baseline. So they've got to just get their length right, don't they?
Yeah. I think, honestly, just for the Rockets, I mean, they've got all the goods in terms of skills, in terms of, you know, just knowing what to do and knowing how to handle a game. But I think it's just coming down to consistency and unforced errors on their part. And then it just means that the Tigers don't actually have to do much, to be honest. They just have to be there and be consistent, which they are able to do. And what's actually brought them, I think, the first game.
So a win here for either team and means at the very least they are going to Golden Game. But of course what it does do is set them up for a possible winner in the mixed doubles. But as was the case last season, so many of these ties went down to the final match and so many to Golden Game. And credit the selectors. And great as well this year that we are seeing a few new faces. Of course, last year was very much an Auckland tournament, if you like, because of the lockdown situation and the lack of the ability for people to travel. But already seeing the likes of Jack Wang playing tonight, albeit having moved up from Canterbury.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Yeah, and I think that's great. I think always just to keep in mind our South Island players who so rarely get opportunities like this, which is why it's so cool for Jack and for other players just to see, I guess, that
Second
South Island
game.
representation.
Love all. Play. Service over. 1 love. Service over. 1-0.
Yeah, the opening was there, and Anona Pak had the touch to play the winner.
2-1.
Yeah, it's always so tempting to go for that net kill, but sometimes, as Anona just showed, the best shot is just that soft shot.
Rosario just hasn't really found a rhythm tonight, has she? It was a little the same in the singles earlier tonight. And frustration starting to show, but for the Tigers, they look the likely winners here, albeit early in the second.
Four, 1.
Change of shuttle. Oh, wow. You know things are going your way when you get that sort of a net roll.
1.
Oh, it's just missed. She had half the court to hit a winner there.
6, 1.
Again, how comfortable does Rowan Apalasuk look in this company?
Yeah. Yeah, I just love
Service
this
over.
whole game. I just really enjoyed watching Rowan. I mean, she just always looks so in control of every shot she plays, and it comes off brilliantly.
Three, 6.
They need to close this gap here, the Starship Rockets.
It's good reading the court from Melissa.
4, 6.
And I mean, when you can take points from the others' unforced errors, those are points you just want to take.
It's a great serve.
5, 6.
And this is exactly what they needed. Close the gap, lift their confidence. Well, there was an example of the two players who favour the net, both getting caught going for the same
6,
shuttle.
Oh.
Bjorn Siegerman must be
Play.
tempted to call a timeout here if this run continues. It's long though, so
service over.
They halt their own momentum to the Starship
7,
Rockets.
6. Service over. 7-0.
Push long. So there's a few errors off the racket of Apalasuk starting to creep
8,
into their game here.
7.
And I think the
Tigers,
players
Brokers, Tigers, timeout.
may well have invited the opportunity for a timeout. They approached Bjorn and said, yeah, let's have a chat. So I think the players recognising, and that's good from Anona Pak, the experienced player, but also Rowan understanding that they just need to halt things here. Sometimes a break is as good as a change in tactics.
Yeah. I mean, because in a standard game of badminton, 221, you always have your 11-point interval, which is where you get that mid-game reset,
20 seconds.
realignment from your coach.
20
But
seconds.
obviously in this 11-point format, you don't get that, which is what makes these timeouts from the coaches so crucial.
And they
8,
get just one.
7. Play.
Well wide.
Service over. 8-0.
Just what, if you get a chance here, just watch the eyes of Palasuk. She'll have eyes on the opponent right throughout her service action here. The whole time. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be able to watch for any movement from your opponent.
8.
She just trusts herself with the service action without having to look at the shuttle. Yeah, well played again. So patient.
Yeah, absolutely great touch on those 3 slice drops that she did.
Match
really
point,
setting up and this having that
8.
variation to just drive it back and opening up and taking advantage of that
Starship
space.
Rockets, timeout.
So, if nothing else, Fanny just wants to have Rowan have time to think about this, serving at match point. So, just to perhaps create a couple of nerves, a few butterflies. Really, at this point in the match, there's not a lot you can do tactically.
Yeah.
Is it delaying the inevitable, or can it see a change in fortunes for the Starship Foundation Rockets?
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
So Palasuk's had time
10,
to think about it. They too
8.
now have had time to plan.
Play.
And the Tigers come through. So the Tiger Brokers Tigers will go to the final match of this tie with a 3-2 advantage. And it will all come down to the mixed doubles. But that was one that the Rockets, they were kind of in the match, but they never really felt
Match
like
won
they
by
got into
Tiger
their best
Brokers
form.
Tigers, 11-6, 11-8.
But both combinations are clearly going to win their share of matches through this league.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. I mean, as you said, both are strong players, both have great shots, great everything really. But I just think, yeah, the Tigers just seem to have turned up a bit more than the Rockets did. I think the Rockets just didn't really find that energy, or I don't know, they just didn't really find their footing, and it just kind of showed in the following games. But yeah, great job on the Tigers' behalf of actually just bringing that from the very start. And here, let's go for our winners and hear what they have to say.
Thanks, Raina. The old band's back together again. How cool is this for you guys to be back alongside each other again?
It's really cool. Like, we're trying to keep our streak again. Yeah, so it's nice to play Rowan again, and there's a lot more things I want to teach her as well. Yeah.
How are you feeling second time around? It's kind of, you know the experience, you know what to expect. Does that make it that much easier for you?
Yeah, definitely, and I think I'm a lot more confident this time, so yeah.
It was pretty tight. They never seemed to find a rhythm. You guys struggled at times as well to get in and into a really good positive rhythm. Was that a sign that this was the first match of the league?
I think so as well. Like, the intensity from the start just is real high, and then I think because it's second time round playing with Rowan, I'm going to be a little bit harsher on her, so she has to take it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and it worked. The combination's looking great. Well done, guys. A really good performance, and sets your team up maybe for a win tonight. Congratulations. There we go. Rowan Palasuk and Anona Pak are winning the women's doubles, and they are a combination with that experience from last year that they're hoping to carry through into this year's Barfoot and Thompson New Zealand League. 3-2 the score. Is it going to be 3-3 in a golden game? We'll find out. The mixed doubles is coming up next.
There's a lot to be said about you Kiwis. You like breaking new ground? You're the best in your field? Stand up for what you believe in. But when it comes to pizza, you can't beat authenticity. Sal's, authentic New York pizza.
Well, this one is on a knife edge, the opening tie of the Barfoot and Thompson New Zealand Badminton League. Good evening, welcome to our action, our coverage here on Sky Sport Next from the Waitakere Badminton Hall. And it is the Tigers. Yes, the Tiger Brokers Tigers, 3-2 they lead. And remember, that's on the back of having lost the opening match tonight. But they've nudged their way in front coming into this final match of the ties. So the 3v3, a new addition to the competition this year. That was a lot of fun early on. Remember, if we do finish at 3-all, we go to a golden game, and you don't want to miss that. But our final match to decide whether that in fact is the case is mixed doubles. And wow, do we have some talent on court in this final one. Edward Lau, a Nona pack for the Tigers, and Abhinav Minota and Alyssa Tagle for the Rockets. And Raina Phillips, this is a delightful one to maybe close out the evening. But this is what this Barfoot and Thompson League throws up. This is quality. Yeah. Every single player dripping with badminton quality.
Yeah.
And it could decide the whole tie. It's good fun, isn't it?
Oh, absolute cracker of a time.
Trish Gubb and Vikash Mukherjee. Not sure that Vikash has got that headset sorted there, but it's on.
It's working, functional.
Handshakes all round, players that will know each other well. Let's have a listen in to Vikash.
Who is going to receive? Abhinav.
I'm getting Professor Xavier vibes with the headset.
Abhi will receive.
How do you think Vikash would go?
I'd feel pretty honoured to be likened to Professor Xavier.
So this really comes down to a lot of doubles and mixed doubles expertise out on the court. The odd one out perhaps is Edward Lau, more of a singles specialist, isn't he? Abhinav also is singles, but he's played a fair bit of doubles with Oliver Leighton-Davis and mixed as well. But this really comes down to perhaps 1 or 2 moments of brilliance to separate them.
Yeah, and I think for the girls that are on court right now, they're doubles and mixed specialists. But as you said, our boys on court, Edward and Mani, definitely are more stronger suited in singles, but they're just such phenomenal players that they can honestly just do anything.
Yep. We see Alyssa and now Anona highlighted. Anona, of course, just fresh off the back of that win in the women's doubles. And it was a straight games win as well, so she shouldn't be too taxed by that.
Yeah, funnily enough, Anona's goal for this league this year is to have a 100% mixed streak. And then Alyssa's goal is to win her first mixed game at least within the 2 weeks. So they seem a bit contradictory, and let's see whose goal actually gets fulfilled.
Edward Lau on the far side there at 20 years of age. Number 2 men's singles player, but he does have that #1 ranking in mixed doubles.
Yep.
So just highlighting that for the youngster that he has very much turned his hand to both in a similar fashion to Abhinav. I mentioned men's doubles. There it is, a #2 ranking. Doesn't often play mixed, but he is the #1 ranked New Zealand men's singles player.
And honestly, if my name was Abhinav Minota, I would play anything, whether it was badminton or not badminton. Just absolute skill, to be honest.
Yeah, he's much loved, isn't he? He's such a character, and he's been what an addition he's been to the New Zealand badminton scene over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and one of his nicknames, I think, around badminton is the Smiling Assassin, apparently, which is actually just so accurate, because on court, absolutely brilliant player, and then off court, the most loveliest guy just to have a chat to.
Oh, you just kind of feel like after he smashes a winner or
Ladies
plays
and
a
gentlemen,
drop shot, he's going to
on my right.
apologise. I'm sorry.
Tigers, Brokers, Tigers, represented by Edward Lau, Anona Pak. And on my left, Starship Rocket, represented by Abhinav Minota, Elisa Tagal.
Teammates getting into it as well.
Tiger, Brokers, Tigers to serve. Love ball. Play. Service over. 1 love.
A couple of mistakes at the net from Anona Pak. That's most unlike her. There we go.
Service over.
Gets a bit of the frustration out.
1-2. Out. 2-all.
Oh, beautiful.
Service over.
It looks so easy. Makes it look so
3-2.
easy. That,
Yeah.
and yet that is so difficult to judge the pace of the shuttle. Abhinav Minota at his best.
4-2.
He did struggle at times last season with a shoulder injury.
Yeah.
I haven't caught up with him. Didn't speak with him before this match. Just to check
Service
and see
over.
Although just as freshly as
3,
Anona's return
4.
from quarantine and the Thailand Open, Marnie was actually over there as well. And so given that he's been internationally competing, I think his shoulders should be in hopefully good shape.
Good to go, yep. Yeah, if anything, I think he just needed a break after the league last season.
Wow.
Oh, Nona had a couple that missed early on. Her teammates enjoyed that.
4.
Courtney said, yes, she played for that. Oh, it's quality.
Service over. 5 all.
Manota on the attack.
Stunning.
6-5. Seven, 5.
The Tigers seem to be struggling just to kind of get off the bat. There's a bit too many unforced errors, and the Rockets are just taking advantage.
Oh, and there's a little confusion. Edward was caught on his heels. Rockets need to win to take this to a golden game.
Great.
9-5.
Alyssa and Marnie are just such a calm pair. I don't know if that's just me, but
Play.
I sense that.
Well, yeah, individually, yes, and when you combine the two. If anything, Marnie's the more emotional of the two, and that's saying something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alyssa's always got that very calm exterior anyway. Well, they turned up the heat, didn't they?
Yeah.
Really picked up the pace and the accuracy in the
First
second
game,
part of
won
that
by-
game. And the Rockets win it going away.
Starship.
Marnie Manota and Alyssa
Rocket,
Tagle.
11-5.
So the golden game looks every opportunity. And of course tonight our first night of action, but coming up tomorrow, the mighty Jazz Apples up against the Plenty Bay Whales. Some new sponsor teams, some new faces perhaps in that clash tomorrow. Again at the Waitakere Badminton Hall. The action will start at 7. And there is an opportunity to come along and watch. If you'd like to come and join us live, by all means, come and see some quality badminton live. It really is a wonderful sport if you've never seen it before. Come along and enjoy. Otherwise, join us in our coverage.
Yeah.
And those two teams, certainly two new team names, but I imagine we're going to see some familiar players.
Yeah, so in our Jazz Apples, we've got our big names like Sally Fu, Oscar Guo, who obviously are just always such powerhouses. And then over in our Plenty Bay Whales, we've got Shauna Lee, Ollie Leaven Davis, and just some awesome young up-and-comers.
Yeah, it's good fun to think that we've still got that to come tomorrow night. Our action on a Tuesday and a Wednesday night over the next
20 seconds.
3 weeks.
20 seconds.
And then we take a little breather before round 2. And we head towards an exciting conclusion again, I'm sure. one of the success stories in the sporting world here in New Zealand in a very disrupted 2020, and why not bring it back in 2021? $20,000 the prize purse in the Barfoot and Thompson New Zealand League.
Ball. 1 love.
It's important here for Pack and Lau. They've got to halt this momentum, don't they? But they're struggling.
2 love.
Yeah, it's quite uncharacteristic of them, to be honest. Edward just seems a bit spent.
Well, and frankly, though, they're up against a combination that are really starting to find their form.
Yeah. I mean, Alyssa's just brilliant at the net. You know, she's worked really hard to actually do that transition from juniors to seniors really well.
This could be over in a real hurry here.
Out. Service over. 1-4. Two, 4.
Oh.
3, 4.
I think Alyssa was trying to react to Marnie's shout there of leave it. It was short. She just got all crossed up.
Oh.
Service over. 5-3.
Conversation. Marnie lets Alyssa know where the serve is being played. And it sets up the opportunity to attack.
6-3.
Alyssa really is brilliant at just controlling the net and just making the most out of every opportunity that comes to her.
Service over. 4-6.
The Tigers seem to be picking up a bit more in terms of energy levels. And I mean, they've clawed it back 4-6 now compared to the sitting on 0 for a while.
Yeah, and they've done a really good job here. Just the 1 point in it now.
5-6.
Of course, it's about now that the other players head off and start to warm up. Because if the Rockets can win this, we go to a golden game. And that is literally... oh, goodness me, Anona's lucky there.
6-all.
She catch the racket of Lau on the way through? Did that put her off, maybe?
There was something funky.
In the end, no harm, no foul. Won the point, 6-all. But the golden game, stay with us if you've never seen it, if in fact that's where we are headed. Because the coaches will be involved. They'll take turn and turn about at removing a game from the board until just one is left. Yeah, good call, Marnie.
Service over. 7-6.
That golden game is one game to 11.
Yeah.
So if you think this is fast-paced, intense.
Out. Service over. 7-all. Change.
Well, Manota gets his way. Nona was quite content to carry on, but often a little gamesmanship with trying to dictate proceedings, and Minota gets his way there.
Service over. 8-7.
It's long, good rally though.
9-7.
Great.
Yeah, really
Great.
tight angle, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Just lifted it. And that's
10,
that
match
ability at the
point,
net from Alyssa
7.
to just pounce and finish off the point. Match point to take us to a golden game.
Wow.
And that's where we're going. So these two teams started close to 3 hours ago, and still they can't be separated, with the mixed doubles going the way of the Starship Rockets. And the coaches now have a little overtime, a little work to do, as they will
Match
look to
won
decide
by
who will play in the
Starship
golden game.
Rocket 11-5, 11-7.
Just Lau and Pack never really got going, did they?
Yeah, they just kind of struggled to get off the start line, to be honest. I don't know if they came to the starting blocks, but no, Alyssa and Abhinav really just took control, and they kept that control going all the way through. And they pulled through to get that good old golden game, which is going to be something that everyone wants to stick around for. Golden games are always going to bring that pressure, that excitement, and really just the stuff that you guys want to stick and just stay tuned for. But here we've got Alyssa and Abhinav coming in with Andrew to share their thoughts.
Thanks, Raina. Wow, far out. Golden game. Here we go again. I mean, it was such a feature last year. You guys, I won't keep you too long because you might be involved in it, but you seem to find your groove pretty good, pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think we've trained a few times, so that's definitely given us an advantage. And we train with Edward and Anona quite a lot, so I guess we know both our games pretty well. So yeah, I guess, yeah.
Marnie, you've not long been back from overseas. How'd you get through the quarantine? 2 weeks in a hotel room. What do you manage to keep the fitness up? Can you swing a racket in there?
Yeah, no, I think for me, I think it was okay. Like, of course, I couldn't do like any badminton specific stuff, but then again, I had the exercise bike there, so my girlfriend dropped it off. So it was pretty good that I could actually do something and like keep the intensity up. And yeah, I could just swing my racket, and that's all I could do.
Well, you swung your racket pretty good out there tonight. This is good fun, though, isn't it, this format? And already we're seeing the benefit from so many players, young players, more experienced players, looking back at last year's league. It's pretty cool to be going around again, isn't it?
Yeah, personally, it wasn't a very good start last time, so I'm glad we can have a chance again with the new team and the whole new format, and yeah.
I think in your bio, your goal was just to win a game of mixed pretty early on. Well, you've done it. You've done it at the first opportunity. Well done.
Thank you.
There we go. So we're going to a golden game. The Rockets win the mixed doubles to take us to the decider. Stay with us when we come back. The coaches will play their part as they decide indeed who will be playing to win the points here tonight.
Join the Starship Foundation as we continue to provide brighter futures for children in New Zealand's only paediatric intensive care unit. Go to starship.org.nz and donate now.
So it looks like Andrew's mic is unfortunately off, so you guys have me to yarn for a second. So we're now...
Men's singles is gone.
Oh, here
We've
we
had a
go.
little technical issue, but we're back. We're down to 2, and Fanny, you can decide. Women's singles. So mixed doubles. So the players might have to just come straight back out and do it again. Mixed doubles, the golden game to decide our opening tie in the Barfoot and Thompson New Zealand Badminton League. And Raina, I don't know if the same combinations will come back out again, but your thoughts on that as we get ready for a race to 11 to decide who gets the points?
Expecting. Yeah, I mean, a bit of a controversial opinion or outcome. We just had, obviously, them just on court, and I don't know if the Tigers actually pulled through, so it will be interesting to see whether the fact that it is a golden game actually livens them up a bit. And for their sakes, I hope it does.
So the coaches, of course, will have given most of their combinations an indication that, doubles, don't worry.
Yep.
Sit down, relax.
Yeah.
We're going to remove that. Both coaches knew that. But there's still the element of surprise when you get to the end there, and Fanny had the final choice.
Yeah.
The Tigers will have been a little uncertain as to who was going to be called out. So Anona Pack, same players?
Yeah, it's the same.
Players, same combinations we're hearing. So same combinations. So for Pack and Lau, I guess chance at redemption. Whilst for Mani Minota and Alyssa Tagle, they look to try and carry on the form that they showed in winning that final match of the tie. So it's asking a lot, isn't it, of Pack and Lau to turn that around, or have they got it in them?
Yeah, I'm still stunned that the mixed doubles came out as the golden game. And I mean, if anything, it's quite a ballsy move to be, soloing that out as the decider. But I mean, Anona and Edward, they are great players, and if they can actually turn up a bit more than they did in the last game that just finished, they are still in this. They really are.
Well, the good news is that all these players will be well and truly warmed up. They've literally had a couple of minutes. Marnie and Alyssa had to have a chat with me for a moment or two, but really they won't have cooled down at all. They'll be ready to go as we decide the first tie in the Barfoot and Thompson New Zealand Badminton League with a golden game. And it is the mixed combinations that head back out. Trish Gubb leads them out, and it's deja vu all over again.
Yeah.
So this really is a sprint, isn't it? 11. The coaches will have had a good chance to have a chat with their players, and for the Tiger Brokers, what do they do? What have they spoken about to try and change things, to turn things around? Is it a mindset or was it tactical?
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly just think it is more probably mindset, because we know both players tactically are sound. Tactically, they've got the goods, and so I think it's just that mentality, or just that they didn't perk up. I don't know if that's possible.
No. Black or green?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just do something, say something, shout something. Just get yourself energised and into the game.
Yeah, hopefully they listen to some DMB beforehand to get pumped up.
2. Thank you.
My personal pre-game listen was always Crew Love by Drake, just dropping that.
What? You never mixed it up? You never...
Nah, because it was just, it just got me going. So if Drake happens to be listening,
Oh, of course he's tuned in watching the badminton.
Of course, he heard Rhoda Phillips was here. He was like, well, shucks, better listen to that.
So the warm-up really is it's obligatory, but I don't know that it's required. As I say, these two combinations having just been out on court. Edward Lau in the near court there, Abhinav Minota. So kept fit on the bike. Not too much badminton for 2 weeks, but kept fit on the bike.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised. Obviously, my sister-in-law is Gronya Somerville, who, although not a New Zealand player, is an Australian badminton player, and I was actually really impressed on how flexible and accommodating the actual quarantine places were. And she just requested a bike just to keep up, especially when they're mid-training. And they actually got it, which is cool that Marnie obviously accessed the same hospitality.
Yeah, goodness me, you'd need something. You do. I mean, these are small sacrifices being made in the midst of this global pandemic, you know, you put it in isolation, being stuck in a room for 2 weeks on your own. There's only
Ready to play.
so many times you can watch the Living Channel over and over.
Yeah.
You say Drake, I say Living Channel. Okay, race to 11. You have to favour Minota and Tagle, surely, given what they've just done.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, if the Tigers manage to come out with the win, you know, that would be impressive straight off the back of that loss, you know? But I mean, if anything, that just means they have more of a mental thing that they have to really push through to actually get over
Ladies and
this
gentlemen,
golden game line.
on my right, Tiger Brokers Tigers, represented by Edward Lau and Anona Pack. And on my left, Starship Rockets, represented by Avinav Momota and Alyssa Taggle. Tiger Brokers Tigers to serve, Anona Pack to Avinav Momota. Love all, play.
Here we go, the teammates right in behind them.
Service over. 1, love.
Gosh, that is so good from Tagle.
Yeah.
So good.
Superb.
Lau had to cover so much court there,
Lau.
but Tagle just had it on a string. And in the context of a golden game, a 2-point margin is a very good one.
Mm.
Three.
Bit of disagreement on whether to leave it or not between the Tigers.
Service over. 1, 3.
Oh, without question, the rally of the night. And Lau thinks they've been harshly dealt to with the line call.
Service over. 4, 1.
And one word, that was pulsating.
Oh,
I don't even know if that was a word, but legit pulsating.
a legit word.
Legit.
It was wonderful, high quality badminton from all 4 players. There's a lot of unforced errors of
5,
the rackets
1.
of the Tigers.
Service over. 2, 5.
Remember, this is 1 game to 11. Not the best of 3 here.
Oh.
Brilliant from Alyssa. Just staying on it. Andrew, do the coaches have a timeout card for? No time. I'm getting a shake
2.
of the head. No.
No, their job is done.
that really just adds the pressure, right? Wow.
It's all going the way of the Starship
7-2.
Foundation Rockets.
Service over. 3-7.
They've got to stay in contact here, don't they? Just lifted the serve.
Service over. 8-4. Service over. 5-8.
Brilliant. Alyssa, honestly, really can just hold her own on court,
Service
which is
over.
just so brilliant to see. And obviously when you're paired with
5.
Abhinav, I mean, you're pretty much OP.
Yeah, and Minota is clever enough, isn't he, that he doesn't try and be the dominant force here. He just plays the right shots to win the point.
Yeah.
Oh, and that time, Tagle just gets it wrong.
Service over. 6-9.
But you actually raise a real good point, is that one of the best things that you can do as a pair is actually just trust your partner.
Oh, goodness me. Minota's
7,
eyes
9.
lit up like a possum in the headlights there.
Do you know who's lit up? Bjorn. Oh, no.
Oh, suddenly it tightens up.
8-9.
For the first time in nearly 3 completed games, they're putting some pressure on here, the Tiger Broker Tigers.
Wow. I don't know where this came from, but it's bloody good.
9.
Complete
all.
turnaround.
They just wanted the drama, right?
Oh, stunning, stunning. Absolutely incredible.
Wow.
Where have they found this form?
I am shooketh. This
Match
is
point.
so good.
9. Play.
This one to win the tie. It's in. Minota's turn to catch a line.
Service over.
Well, Raina, you've got to choose
10
the Crystal Ashley
all.
Designs MVP. You must be changing your mind with every shot here.
Bro, it's okay hectic.
So they save a tie point,
11,
and now they have one of their
10.
own. Tigers keep it alive.
Service over. 11 all.
I can't even. This is brilliant. This is so good. This is what we froth when it comes to a golden game.
Oh, and just the competition again, just setting up these moments, the concept just has to be applauded. The power of Lau.
12-11.
So I believe it goes setting unless it's 14 all and then it's sudden death, correct?
Correct. 15 points wins it.
Oh my goodness.
Edward Lau.
Wow.
Brilliant. 13 unlucky for some, but it is a winning number if you're a Tiger. Oh, stunning. Edward Lau and a Nona pack. Where did that come from?
Absolutely. Wow.
Absolutely superb. And the Tiger broke his Tigers in a tie that was ebbing and flowing. It was twisting and turning.
13,
and in the end,
11.
it is the Tigers who get it in golden game, and it was the closest of finishes, 13-11. We're going to hear from the winning combination in a moment or two, and we'll present the Crystal Ashley Designs MVP for the night, and then we'll get our thoughts to wrap things up before we even start to contemplate tomorrow night. But Raina, what a thrill. That was fantastic.
Absolute thrill. You know, I mean, to come off, you know, a loss in that last mixed doubles, to just pull through and not only just win, but actually come from, you know, a setback, coming from being a few points behind and to actually just clutch it at the very end. Absolutely. Wow. Mind blown.
She's absolutely jumping out of her skin over there. I don't know about you guys. What a performance and the emotion at the end. Is that what it took? You know, did you guys just need to give yourselves a bit of a rev up going into that golden game?
Yeah, for me, I really needed to up my game and, like, you know, come out firing, because the performance in the mixed doubles before that wasn't great.
But it just shows you stick with it. You stay true to the course, and then you just won the big points at the end.
Yeah, I think for me, the opposite of Edward, I have to take a step back and slow it down and set it up nicely for Edward.
Important in this competition. We know how close it's going to be. We know how many golden games there will be. It's good to get one like that, isn't it? Knowing that there's going to be many more close opportunities.
Yeah, every point counts. And, you know, last year, I think second and third, there was only not many points, like maybe 1 point between it. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm very pleased to announce, Edward, that you are also our Crystal Ashley Designs MVP for the tie. There we go. Congratulations to you and Anona. Well done. It's always good fun. An amazing show. Brilliant stuff. Go and enjoy that with your teammates. And we'll bring Raina back in now to summarise what's been a marvellous night of badminton. Just the place is still buzzing. I'm hoping Edward's just cramping over there. If not, he might have pulled a muscle in celebration. But that's just good fun. That's badminton at its best, isn't it?
Yeah, it was honestly just superb. I mean, the whole time, throughout the whole tie, you actually didn't know who was going to win. And even to that very last minute when you're like, yeah, the Rockets have definitely got it in the bag. Nah, like, yeah, absolutely great.
And if tomorrow night's anything like this, the teams look to be very evenly poised and very tough to pick a winner. And there's so many matches now that are going to be on a knife edge the whole way through. So every point is crucial, isn't it, as we just described there?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's again, we always come back to it. It's that 11-point format that just makes it so crucial to play every single point like it is, like the most important point. And yeah, we've got coming up tomorrow, we've got big names. We've got Oscar, we've got Shauna, and then we also have, you know, Sally Fu and everyone. And it's, yeah, I mean, it's just the beginning.
Absolutely, it is just the first night of what's going to be a wonderful couple of months of badminton. On behalf of Raina, it's been a lot of fun calling this one for you tonight. We look forward to doing it all again tomorrow night. Make sure you join us on Sky Sport Next from 7 o'clock.